Hi everyone, welcome to IMS series on PI WAT preparation. We are at episode 2 where I'm going to talk to you about the daily reading plan that you require to ace the PI round at, let's say, the IIMs and many other prestigious B schools. My name is Hemang Panchmatia and I will give you 3 points that you need to keep in mind while you do your GD-PI preparation. Point number 1. Obviously, the most important requirement is to stay updated on the most important happenings around you. Right now, there are multiple ways of doing this, but I think the most effective time-saving method here is to refer to the ebooks provided by IMS. So, on your login, we have already enabled under the GD-PI course 30 important articles that will help you ace the PI round. They will help you write a great WAT, and if certain questions are asked about your opinion on certain events happening around you, you will be able to have a great answer. Now, these articles are written after a lot of research. They have external links to be referenced to in case you want to know further. So, for example, impact of AI on jobs, AQI, how do you handle the problem faced by multiple cities in India? All these are important and relevant points. Impact of AI on education. I'm sure all of you will face these topics in some form or the other in the upcoming GD-PI season. So why not devote some time to each of these 30 important topics and be prepared for the same, right? So recommendation 1, have a list of the most important trending topics for us to say and make sure you know at least the basics of all of these. India-US relationships, the tariff war, what's happening to the Indian rupee, what's happening to Japanese yen, what is the connection on the equity markets of the same. All these are going to be very commonly asked question by all the B schools. So the solution is refer to the articles already written by you by the experts. Second is, it is very important to know what kind of questions are asked in the PI round. So somebody having a very similar profile like you, let's say an engineer with some work X, or a BMS student with no work X, or you're an art student who has major in literature. All these profiles of students have been interviewed by the B schools in the past, and I'm sure this year also hundreds if not thousands of these students will be interviewed by the B schools. So one very effective method is to go through the PI transcripts, A, of the past years, and B, also of the current year students. So you know what are the trending questions again. Again at IMS, for the transcript asked in the past, we have already made a detailed list of all such questions, B school wise, and updated on the portal as we did for the important articles. And for the current PI transcripts for the current year, you will be a part of Telegram groups where students often discuss these questions. So for example, you know that many students at a particular B school have been asked about, let's say, the impact of AI on education, and you do not have a very good answer for the same yet. It obviously makes a lot of sense to go read on that topic and then you are well prepared for the interview, right? So we spoke about being updated about the articles, and now we are speaking about being updated on the PI transcripts. We have also made a list of very important and often asked academic questions readily available. So what are the top 20 questions asked to a mechanical engineer? What are the top 20 questions asked to a student whose favorite subject is accounts? All of that is already available on the GD-PI portal. Third is, obviously everybody is going to ask you to be reading the newspaper on a daily basis. I would suggest you pick up one general newspaper, Times of India, Hindu, so on and so forth, obviously fit into this category, and maybe also pick up one business newspaper just to stay updated on the key happenings, right? You may not know about every transaction, every important event that is happening in the business world, but you should be aware of the most important ones. I would say read the key happenings, have a view on the same, and read the editorials so that you can have a great WAT after it. Spending about 20 to 30 minutes daily on the newspapers is a smart choice for a lot of aspirants. Now please remember that reading newspapers is one important part of your preparation, but it is not the only part of your preparation. I have seen students who read the newspaper for multiple hours a day. They ignore reading about the academics, they ignore researching more about their work, and the only thing they know is actually only current affairs. And when asked to have their own opinion on an issue, they fail to develop a unique perspective on the same. So treat daily articles as a part of your preparation and not the end of your preparation. On the other hand, there are some students who take a shortcut. They think reading only Inshorts is going to be good enough. I would say Inshorts is a good starting point. It will let you know which topic should I follow. But obviously, if you read only that short article, your gyan on the topic will get done in about 10 seconds of the interview. So that is obviously not going to be enough. Remember that everybody around you is giving their best. So you'll also have to put your best foot forward, and hence Inshorts is a good starting point. Definitely not a good conclusion point. Finally, you have read the articles, you have gone through the transcripts, you are doing the newspaper reading. Now, how do you actually construct your final VAT? Okay, let's assume you have read on a topic and a similar topic appears on your VAT. How do I approach it? I would say there are two things you should know. Point number one, what is going to be your structure? I would say go back to your school days. I'm sure all of us have written a lot of essays. That still provides a good enough structure for your VAT, which means you should be able to write a good introduction. If it is a topic that lends itself to for and against, then have 2 or 3 points for the topic, 2-3 points against the topic, and your own stand should become the conclusion, right? The other kind of topic is where you cannot have a for and against kind of a format. In that case, you should have 3 to 5 key points you want to illustrate. So preferably with an example for some of these key points, right? So these two formats that we used for essays in the school will actually even help you today during your VAT writing. Second point is, how do you develop your viewpoint? My rule is fairly simple. Perspective greater than opinion, which is greater than facts. Now, a lot of students, when they try to read an article, memorize a lot of facts. Okay, AI investment is now X billion dollars. How many jobs will be lost as per report published by Y? This many million jobs will be lost. These facts have some value, right? But they are not here to check how many facts have you memorized for the interview. What they want to know is your take on the same. As a manager, if data is provided to you, how will you act on it? So what is more important? Know your facts. More important, you may have a generalized opinion around it, that okay, is AI going to have a positive impact or a negative impact on addition of new jobs, right? You may have read a lot of articles, but have a view that finally I think based on points ABC, yes, AI will add new jobs, or it will add new jobs in a particular category, but net jobs will be lost, or these kind of jobs will not be lost. All right. So here I am adding my own opinion, and the best of all is having your own perspective. So for example, if you work in digital marketing, can you specifically give an example of how AI is impacting, let's say, jobs in the marketing department? For example, what happens to the routine ads? What happens to the routine copywriting, the routine designs? You can say, yes, AI is very, very good at automating the routine stuff, and hence it frees up my time to do more creative stuff. So you can say, yes, AI does a job of an average marketer very well, but one brilliant creative marketer is going to be better than ChatGPT as of today. That can be a stand I take based on my personal experience of using AI and working in the marketing department. See, as a student, I am sure all of you have now interacted with ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud, and so many other AI platforms. What do you think is the impact of AI on our own learning? Maybe you can say, yes, I don't have to memorize facts, or it's now so easy to Google up or ChatGPT something. But what about motivation? What about, have you lost the zeal to find out more about a topic just because you know that any day I can figure out the nuance through a ChatGPT search? So such thinking of building your own perspective is going to make sure that you stand out as compared to the rest of the aspirants. Okay. And finally, in a few days, the CAT calls will be out. IIMs will start rolling out their letters. So it is time to start your GD-PI preparation. At IMS, we are already starting a GD-PI preparation starting 22nd of December with live online sessions. And as I mentioned, a lot of resources are already available. So once again, I wish you all the best for your preparation and keep watching us for episode 3. Anything that you think you want us to answer for you, mention those in the comments and we'll be happy to create an episode around it. Thank you.